My beloved child, listen carefully, for what I am about to tell you carries a weight your heart has long felt but your mind has not yet spoken aloud. Do not let your eyes wander away, because this moment is not ordinary. Heaven has pressed pause on eternity just so you could hear this now. There is a stirring in the unseen realm, and Archangel Michael is standing with his sword drawn, whispering into your spirit that something around you has been hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right hour to be revealed. You have been searching for answers in places that only gave you half-truths, and yet, deep down, you felt a restlessness that told you there was more. Michael comes not to frighten you, but to awaken you. For there are patterns, habits, and unseen influences that have been shaping your days without you even realizing it. This is what you may not have thought of yet, that the delays, the distractions, the sudden bursts of heaviness in your heart are not random at all. They are signs. They are signals. They are reminders that something greater is unfolding in your story. Do not skip this moment, because in every second you are here, unseen hands are rewriting chapters in your life. The heavens are aligning pieces you thought were forever broken. The voice you hear right now is telling you that Archangel Michael has been standing watch, removing the shadows that tried to convince you that you were forgotten. You were never forgotten. Every tear you cried was counted. Every prayer you whispered in silence was gathered. And every thought of giving up was intercepted by angelic armies fighting on your behalf. This warning is not about danger, but about awakening. It is about shaking you out of the belief that life is against you. It is about opening your eyes to see that the heaviness you carried was never meant to break you, it was meant to push you into this divine reminder. My child, heaven is not silent. Right now, doors you never knocked on are about to swing open. The people who underestimated you will be the very ones to witness your rising. And the miracle you kept thinking was for someone else is the very miracle that has your name carved into it. Stay with me, because Archangel Michael is not finished. He says, tell them their season of wandering is ending. Tell them their days of unanswered questions are closing. Tell them they are standing closer to destiny than they think. You have not thought of this yet, but today, heaven thought of you. My beloved child, remain here with me, for the voice of heaven is still pouring out, and the message is not yet complete. You thought the first whisper was enough, but Archangel Michael is pressing me to go deeper, because what is unfolding is not a single thread, it is an entire tapestry, woven with moments you have overlooked, decisions you thought were small, and encounters you dismissed as ordinary. But nothing in your journey has been ordinary, not even the moments you forgot. Listen, there are times you thought you were waiting, but in truth, heaven was waiting on you. You prayed for change, you asked for breakthrough, but the answer was not delayed, it was being protected. For Archangel Michael saw what you did not see, the hands that tried to reach into your blessing, the whispers that tried to poison your joy, the forces that tried to plant doubt in your path. And so the answer was hidden, not denied, until the exact moment your heart would be ready to carry it. That moment, child, is now. You may not have thought of this yet, but every season of silence was not emptiness, it was preparation. The relationships that left you, the opportunities that slipped from your grasp, the nights where your only companion was your own heartbeat, these were not punishments. They were alignments. Heaven was not robbing you, it was repositioning you. And Archangel Michael is saying, do not mistake the stillness for absence, it was the sacred ground where your foundation was being remade. Stay close now, because what I am about to reveal will unlock something inside you. You thought your strength was gone, but it is only now awakening. You thought your dreams had expired, but they were only incubating. You thought you had missed the right time, but child, the right time is never missed when heaven is orchestrating it. Do you see it? The delay was a shield. The silence was a womb. The loss was a doorway. And the struggle was the sword Michael used to cut away what was never yours to carry. There is something else. Archangel Michael says, tell them they are not as far behind as they think. Tell them the years they thought were wasted are about to be redeemed in a single moment. Tell them that what they feared would never return is about to return multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, running over. My beloved, you may not have thought of this yet, but every tear that fell was a seed, and heaven is watering it even now. What you are about to step into will not make sense to those who watched you struggle. It will not make sense to those who doubted your prayers. And it will not make sense even to you, because heaven does not operate in sense, it operates in divine timing. That timing has come to rest upon your life like morning dew upon dry ground. Stay with me until the end, for Archangel Michael is not warning you to scare you, he is warning you to awaken you. This is not about fear, it is about recognition. To recognize that heaven has been speaking your name louder than you ever imagined, and what is being released over you now will leave even your enemies in awe. My beloved child, do not let your heart wander, for the heavens are still speaking, and Archangel Michael has not yet finished unveiling the hidden truths that surround you. Each word you hear now is not random, it is a thread being stitched into the very fabric of your soul, preparing you for what you are about to carry. You see, child, the greatest weight is not the battle you faced, but the crown you are about to wear. What you thought was suffering was only strength in disguise. What you thought was rejection was only protection in another form. Archangel Michael leans close and says, tell them their story is not a tragedy, it is a testimony in the making. You may not have thought of this yet, but your scars are not signs of defeat, they are proof that you survived what tried to erase you, and they now shine as evidence of heaven's covering. Think for a moment about the paths you walked, the sudden detours, the unanswered calls, the doors that looked promising but never opened. You thought those detours were mistakes. But Michael is revealing that those were divine diversions, saving you from the traps you could not see. Every unanswered opportunity was heaven saying, wait, I have better. And now, better is near you. Closer than the breath you are taking. Listen carefully, your life has not been overlooked, even though people may have passed you by. There were moments when you were surrounded by many, yet felt invisible. But heaven never lost sight of you. Archangel Michael has circled your name in the book of destiny. He has shouted your name in the halls of eternity. And angels have been dispatched to stand guard over your next steps. What you may not have thought of yet is this: the delay you hated was actually the staging ground for the miracle you prayed for. And there is something even deeper. Michael says, tell them they were never alone in the silent hours. Tell them that when their heart broke in pieces, those pieces were gathered in heaven's hand. Tell them that not one tear fell unnoticed. Tell them that what they lost was not the end, it was the planting of something greater. Do you see it now, child? Every unanswered question was a preparation for a greater revelation. Every closed door was a redirection to an opening designed only for you. Every broken promise was the removal of counterfeit voices so the true promise could enter. You may not have thought of this yet, but what is coming to your life has always been coming. It was simply waiting for the moment when you would be able to see, not with eyes of fear, but with eyes of faith. Stay with me, for Michael is still near. His wings are stretched wide over your destiny, and his sword of fire is cutting away the final chains that tried to keep you bound. The warning is this: do not go back to the doubts that chained you. Do not return to the voices that belittled you. Do not give power to the mistakes that tried to define you. For today, heaven is rewriting your name, your story, your ending. My beloved child, stay still, for this river of truth has not yet run dry. Archangel Michael is still speaking, and the heavens are still unfolding secrets that your heart needs to hear. You may not have thought of this yet, but every delay, every pause, every moment you thought was wasted was not empty time, it was holy ground. It was the season where God was bending low to plant the very seeds of your miracle. You thought you were forgotten, yet heaven was writing your name into the story of generations. You thought your voice was too small, but the truth is your prayers were echoing louder than thunder in the courts of eternity. Michael says, tell them their whispers in the night were not lost. Tell them their sighs were recorded. Tell them every silent cry has been placed as an offering before the throne. Child, look back at your journey, not with pain, but with new eyes. The storms that came against you were not meant to drown you, they were meant to teach you how to walk on waters that others feared to touch. The betrayals that wounded you were not signs of weakness, they were lessons shaping you into one who can stand without needing validation. And the losses you carried were not endings, they were beginnings wrapped in disguise. You may not have thought of this yet, but what you lost made room for what is eternal. Archangel Michael stands with his sword lifted and whispers, the attacks you faced were never about who you were, they were about who you are becoming. The shadows knew your future, even when you doubted it yourself. That is why they tried to break you. That is why they tried to silence you. But you are still standing, because heaven never allowed the fire to consume you. Listen, child, this is important. What is coming to your life will not look like anything you have imagined. You prayed for answers, but heaven is giving you abundance. You prayed for strength, but heaven is releasing destiny. You prayed for survival, but heaven is sending you victory. And all of this is arriving not tomorrow, not next year, but in the unseen minutes unfolding even as you hear these words. You may not have thought of this yet, but Archangel Michael has been closer to you than your very breath. Every time you wanted to give up, it was his hand that held back the darkness. Every time you stumbled, it was his presence that lifted you quietly. And every time you felt unworthy, it was his voice that reminded heaven of your worth. So hear this clearly, your season of confusion is ending. Your season of delay is breaking. Your season of silence is being replaced with songs of breakthrough. Do not skip this message, for it is not ordinary, it is your lifeline. Archangel Michael is warning you not because harm is near, but because glory is closer than you ever imagined. My beloved child, lean in even closer now, because heaven is still unfolding mysteries that your soul has been yearning for. You may think you've heard enough, but Archangel Michael insists, there is more, and this is the part you must not miss. What you may not have thought of yet is that the very places you felt weakest are the very places God is about to crown you with strength. The nights you cried alone, believing no one saw, were nights when heaven's angels stood silently at your side, collecting every tear like diamonds in their hands. Those tears were never wasted, they were seed sown in sacred soil, and now, Michael declares, they are about to bloom into blessings so radiant that even your enemies will stand in awe. You may not have thought of this yet, but the pain that nearly destroyed you has been converted into power that will elevate you. Child, remember this: silence is not absence, waiting is not denial, and brokenness is not the end. The silence was God's way of protecting you from noise. The waiting was heaven's way of timing your miracle. And the brokenness was the canvas upon which your new story would be painted. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them they were not overlooked, they were hidden for a season, preserved for the moment when their light would shine brightest." You wondered why certain people left you. You questioned why certain doors closed. You doubted your own worth when opportunities vanished before you could grasp them. But now the truth is being revealed: heaven was never punishing you, it was positioning you. The ones who walked away were not meant to stay for where you are going. The doors that shut were not your doors. The voices that rejected you were never aligned with your destiny. What you may not have thought of yet is that rejection was not the end, it was redirection to something greater than you could have asked or imagined. Michael's warning is filled with love: do not settle for less when heaven is preparing more. Do not cling to what broke you when new joy is being written into your story. Do not believe the lie that your best days are behind you. For what is coming carries the fragrance of glory and the weight of destiny. Child, let your heart be still. You are standing on the threshold of something you cannot yet see but will soon embrace. Your name is being spoken in rooms you have never entered. Your spirit is being remembered in places you thought forgot you. And your blessing is being carved with your name in the very halls of heaven. You may not have thought of this yet, but the very thing that once felt like the end is about to reveal itself as the beginning of your greatest chapter. So do not turn away. Do not doubt. Do not let go. Archangel Michael is here, his wings stretched wide, his voice echoing through eternity, declaring, "This child is chosen, this life is anointed, this destiny is unstoppable." My beloved child, stay here a little longer, because the heavens are not finished speaking. What you are hearing is not coincidence, it is destiny pulling at the strings of your heart. Archangel Michael stands firm with fire in his eyes, declaring that you are closer than you realize to the very breakthrough you have been praying for. What you may not have thought of yet is that the battle you faced was never about what you lost, it was always about what you are about to gain. Every closed door was not a punishment, it was a preservation. Every disappointment was not a setback, it was heaven whispering, "Not this way, my child, I have something better." The things that slipped through your fingers were never meant to remain. They left because they were too small for the magnitude of the blessing that is approaching you. You may not have thought of this yet, but the emptiness you felt was not a void, it was space being carved out for abundance. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them they have not been abandoned. Tell them they are standing in the middle of divine rearrangement. Tell them that even now, the pieces are falling into place, and soon they will see what heaven has been doing behind the veil." Child, pause and breathe this in: your story is not behind you, it is before you. The voices that doubted you, the people who misunderstood you, the moments that made you question yourself, none of them have the authority to define what God has already declared over you. You are chosen. You are preserved. You are marked. And no hand, no whisper, no shadow can erase the name heaven has written over your life. Listen closely now. You may not have thought of this yet, but the reason the battles felt so heavy was because your destiny is so weighty. The darkness only fought you because it could see the light you carry. The setbacks only came because the enemy knew the speed at which you were rising. The tears only fell because your heart was designed to be tender, and tenderness is what draws miracles near. You were not weak, you were chosen. You were not forgotten, you were being prepared. Archangel Michael leans close and thunders, "The time of hiding is over. The time of silence is broken. The time of delay has ended. Now is the hour of unveiling. Child, this is the turning point. This is the chapter you prayed for, the season you almost gave up waiting on. And it is here, closer than your shadow, nearer than your breath. So do not step back now. Do not doubt what heaven is making clear. Do not scroll away, for this moment is an altar between you and the divine. Archangel Michael is not warning you out of fear, but awakening you to see that the very things you once thought were against you are about to be revealed as part of heaven's plan to lift you. Stay still, child. Something you never expected is about to arrive. My beloved child, stay here, for the voice of heaven is not done. Each word being spoken now is shaping the soil of your future, preparing you for what you cannot yet see but are destined to walk into. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian at the gates of your destiny, and his message continues to flow with urgency and love. You may not have thought of this yet, but the weight you carried was not to break you, it was to shape you. The unanswered prayers were not denials, they were delays meant to protect what was sacred. The loneliness you endured was not emptiness, it was the womb of transformation, a holy place where you were hidden so heaven could complete its work in you. Michael says, tell them their isolation was not punishment, it was preparation. Tell them their silence was not neglect, it was sacred alignment. Tell them their tears were not weakness, they were seeds. Child, do you feel it? The air around you is shifting. What you lost is about to be returned with increase. What you thought was gone forever is returning in a form so much greater that you will hardly recognize it. You may not have thought of this yet, but the delay was not wasted, it was multiplying what was coming. Every hidden prayer you whispered is now rising like incense before the throne, and the answers are being released with swiftness.